Hey, welcome to Family Friendly Foods, sponsored by Value Market. I'm Chef Nancy, and
I'm Coach Kirby, and every time you say howdy, it makes me want to laugh. Howdy.
Howdy. All right, what we're going to do today is make soup.
I love
We're going to
soup.
make a meatball and rice soup.
That's better than average soup.
That's right, and what we're going to do is we're going to make that with white rice. But Coach, we're going to make a vegetarian soup with brown lentils and brown rice.
Thank you for getting that brown rice in there.
And we can talk about the difference.
Okay.
And then we're going to make our classic chicken noodle.
Okay.
And when you find out how easy this is, you're never going to buy it anymore because what you buy is full of sodium.
Right.
What we cook, it ain't so, sister.
We want whole foods rather than processed, right?
Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so let's get making this soup.
You ready to go?
Let's
One,
go.
2, 3, yeah. Okay, Coach.
Meatball soup. I have no earthly idea how to make this, but
Well, it's going to be fun. I'll do the squishy work if you do the help.
I'm all for that. Okay.
All right, now, I'm putting my hamburger in
All
there.
right, hamburgers in the bowl.
1 pound.
Okay.
And this is going to make plenty of soup for 6 people.
And what I like about this is that, again, we're not buying something in a can with lots of sodium. These are all
Not
whole
at
food
all.
products.
Not at
Okay,
all.
so 1 egg?
1 egg.
1 egg. And I know.
Whoop.
Okay.
Now, instead of using garlic powder with this one, we're going to use some real garlic. Okay?
right.
I want to put some real garlic in there.
Does that just make it more flavorful?
Right, and look, that oil has a lot of the flavor in
Sure.
it. Okay.
That's key.
If you will,
Yes.
sprinkle some Italian seasoning. Again, it's great seasoning. It's got all kinds of herbs.
Italian seasoning.
About
I thought you were going to ask me for the
Almost.
Japanese breadcrumbs, but instead Italian seasoning.
Now,
This is a very international meatball.
it really is. Now we're going for the Japanese. Put some in there, sister. Okay. If I have them in the house and I want to make something crunchy and not fried and bake it
Perfect.
in the oven, it's perfect. Ooh, look what I'm doing. Yeah!
Because frying adds so much fat to
it's
a
just-
dish.
It's not necessary.
Adds to the fat in your body, to the fat in your arteries, and it's just all
not
over.
pretty.
It's unhealthy. So whenever you can do something like that, make that switch. It's a
That's
great
the way
idea.
to go. Now,
We should do a whole show on great tips on turning a favorite food
into a
into a
healthy
healthier food.
All right, now, what we're going to do
Yes.
is we're going to put these meatballs in the microwave for a little bit.
Oh, is this to get rid of some of the fat?
You get rid of some of the fat. So if you'll get me something to make the meatballs and put them in, I'm going to have you start putting all the other ingredients together for the soup.
Gotcha. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I'm going to start the soup going, and you're getting the meatballs ready?
Right, now I want to make the meatballs spoon size.
So I'm
And-
putting beef broth in here.
Yeah, that's one of those boxes that makes 4 cups.
Did I say beef broth? I meant beef broth.
Now, you're going to add your tomato, because that's so good in beef soup.
Can of tomatoes, diced tomatoes.
And we're
Half a
gonna,
cup of rice?
And look at what those tomatoes say, Coach.
These tomatoes say that they are
No, look on the front.
no salt added.
Right.
No salt added, all right, very good. Now,
Yeah.
half a cup, I'm going to measure it in here.
Yeah, about a third of that's a half a cup.
All right,
A half, a quarter, there you go.
in it goes.
And it goes.
Am I making you nervous the way I cook?
Yeah.
I thought I was. Who knows how this is going to taste?
All right,
Really,
now,
no earthly idea.
we're going to put that on the stove.
How about
Put
some Italian seasoning?
About a teaspoon, no more, no less. And put it on the stove and get her started. I think that I saw that. She's such a snitch. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in a little bit some grated carrots in there
Okay.
for added nutrition. You can put those a handful in whenever you want.
Into our soup.
Soup.
All right.
And
I will-
then we're gonna save the onions for the very end.
1 handful of grated carrots going into
Absolutely.
the soup.
See, I keep a bag of those around, and I use those in all kinds of stuff.
Why would I putting that onion in until the very end?
Because it'll be nice and have a fresh flavor. Cut away from you. I don't know, whatever.
And saw.
Yeah.
And saw. And
Okay,
saw.
well, we're not.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like, I feel like Chef Nancy.
That way, well, no, Chef Nancy does a little bit better because Chef Nancy doesn't leave stuff on the cutting board that can end up in the food.
Well, what? Like aluminum foil?
Yeah. Or when you do green onions, sometimes what do you get? You get rubber bands in it.
Well,
Sometimes, haven't you ever seen the little blue pieces in your?
Yes. The worst thing ever was when I got the cafeteria woman's filling in my corn.
No way!
That happened.
What's next is I'm going to put this in the microwave.
All right.
For 4 minutes.
See ya.
Okay.
Nancy, you've just cooked these meatballs in the microwave for about 4 minutes.
Right.
What is all this extra syrupy stuff that's come out? Yeah, I was trying to be polite about it.
A lot of it's water because meat is protein, which is muscle tissue.
Right.
Which is 75% water.
Okay.
That's why we have to drink water.
However,
it's got oil in it.
So that's a lot of the fat that you cooked out.
A lot of the fat's cooked out. And, FYI, it is an animal, so it's a little bit of the blood came out.
So that came out. So blood, oil, and water.
Right.
So if I eat hamburgers at a fast food restaurant, more than likely they have not cooked all that fat, water, and blood out of it. So that's why when you eat one of those patties, it's often so high in fat.
Right.
Okay, well, that's a good tip. Now you're going to put that into the soup?
I'm going to put it into the soup, and about the time our rice is done, we're going to cover this.
Okay.
When the rice is done, our soup's going to be done. And we're going to have meatball soup. Coach, it's our meatball soup.
It smells great.
Now, there's not a person in the world that doesn't like meatballs. Everybody likes soup. I put a little bit of rice in it. Doesn't have a lot. You did a little bit.
Just
you
a
can
tad.
always add more rice if you want it.
Yes.
Or you could add brown rice. But you see what we got going.
You know I
isn't
got
it?
the brown rice. Right. Isn't that nice?
Now, what are we going to top it with, Coach?
Oh, my
what
onions.
did you cut? It's Coach's
Right.
onions.
Well, so now I see why maybe I should have cut those up a little more
yeah, well, we won't go
delicately. But so I want to give this a taste because my kids love meatballs, and if this
there. All right, now.
this would be a
very
healthy version of meatballs.
It would be.
Ooh.
And the beef stock's good.
Mm-hmm. Nice. It's perfect.
Now, you can add as much garlic as you want to the meatballs, but
That's really good. That's something that will make any winter day warm up.
mmm,
Nice work there, Chef.
yo. All right, Coach.
All right,
we're
ready.
going to make our vegetable soup. Now, what Coach did was,
I put in 6 cups of water back over here on the stove. Starting to get hot.
and she's got something called Better Than Bouillon. It is not a bouillon cube, so therefore the first ingredient is not
Sodium.
salt.
Oh.
Right, or sodium, anything. So she's going to add 1 teaspoon per cup to that and let it turn into yummy, yummy vegetable stock.
So here's where the math comes into play.
That's right.
All right.
Then, after she does that, she's going to add a 1/2 cup of brown rice.
Shall I go do this now, Coach?
Yes.
Chef?
Yes.
Chef, Coach?
Now, you're going to do a 1/2 cup of brown rice, and I'm going to cut up vegetables while we're getting all this going. We're going to show people how quick it is to make a yummy soup. Now, again, I'm cutting my green onions, and I'm cutting all the root ends off. And here I go. La-dee-dee-dee-dee. You know, when you cut, you really do want to keep your fingers back.
Yes.
But
Of course we do.
it's great to do all this. I tell you, what Coach is going to talk to you about when she adds the brown rice the difference between brown rice and white rice.
All
Now,
right.
I'm going to add a little jalapeno.
Fortunately, I lost track of how much of this I'd put in there, so
We'll just
who knows
taste it
what's
in a
going to
minute.
happen.
Well, we'll taste it.
All right, okay, I'll taste it.
After, you know, put your rice in, let it boil a little bit, and then we can taste it. Now, I'm putting a little jalapeno in this because I'm going to add curry to it, too.
Would you say a half a cup of brown rice?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, sometimes people like to use garlic that's already chopped. Whoa, baby. That's for Chef, the coach to do. Oh, told you.
Maybe I better get that tennis ball out and start working my hands out again.
I'm getting all the rice out.
All right, I've got the garlic open here.
All right, would you add a big old spoon of it?
You bet.
Now, I got my jalapeno cut, my green onions. I'm going to add carrots to this soup because carrots are good for you and they're yummy. And I'm going to leave them kind of long for fun.
So if sodium isn't the first ingredient on this, what is the first ingredient? Oh, vegetables are the first ingredient on
And
this.
concentrated,
Vegetable.
as in carrots, celery, onion,
Onions.
tomatoes. See?
Garlic.
It's the real thing.
This is, and where do I get this? Just in the,
Value market.
I love it. Okay.
Now, add our tomatoes
All right, into the pot.
into the pot.
I like the tomatoes, so we have some more vegetables, some more vitamins, some more minerals.
That's absolutely correctamundo. Then we're going to add some curry powder now, so it starts getting that curry flavor.
Okay.
Okay.
I never know how to do curry, so I'm glad you're going to show us.
Well, this isn't very hot, so we're putting some in. We're going to put about 2 teaspoons in.
But you have to cook curry into your food because when I just put it on my rice after I cook my rice, it doesn't taste very good.
No, you got to put it in because it's dried
All right.
spices. Now, while that rice is starting to cook, let's cover that up so it'll come to a boil.
You got it.
Next thing we're going to put in it, after that rice starts cooking, as soon as it starts boiling, the rice will start cooking, we're going to put in
Some lentils.
half a cup of lentils.
So,
Do I have it there, girl?
let me get down here. A little more. Stop. Good. Perfect.
All right, we got our lentils, we got our brown rice.
Half a cup of lentils.
Now,
We're close there to it.
I'm going to cut up, oh, it's perfect.
It's soup. Doesn't really matter, does it?
No,
That's why I like making soup.
So wait till it comes to a boil so the rice will start cooking.
All right.
Because brown rice takes longer to cook than white rice.
So brown rice still has the shell on it. The shell from the when they're growing it. And so that is what makes it move through our body more slowly, complex carbohydrate. And it's healthier for you, it has more nutrients on it, whereas the white rice is kind of stripped down, and they'll even, like with white bread and that type of thing, there's bleach involved in it. So
Oh, that's right.
who wants all that?
Well, you know, Coach, that's kind of like when you have cheese and a Jell-O.
When you add cheese and Jell-O.
When you have cheese.
I would not want that dish. I'd give it a try for you, but I
When
don't.
you have cheese and a Jell-O, what color's cow's milk?
White. Is it yellow?
No.
No, I know.
How did the cheese get yellow?
I don't know.
Duh.
Thank
So-
you. See, I never thought about that.
Right. See?
I never thought about cheese and Jell-O.
Okay, I'm not trying not to cut my fingers off.
So, all right. So I think we're getting very close to boiling. Can I put the lentils in?
Yes. I'm going to put the lentils in. Stir them in there.
Okay.
I'm cleaning up my mess. Okay, Coach. Now it's time to finish this soup up.
What do we do to finish it up?
Take the lid off.
Oh, take the
Don't
lid off.
burn yourself.
Give
And
me a
we're gonna
hard
put
job.
the rest of these vegetables in. Now, the reason I didn't cook them in there from the beginning
Right.
is I want a little fun
Crunch.
crunch.
Okay.
Because
And
I
what's
like
this?
crunch. And this is our parsley.
Okay.
And again, I don't want to cook a fresh herb for too long. Look what we've got left to do.
Spinach. We're going to add some more vitamins to this recipe.
Exactly, at the very end, so it doesn't cook too much.
How much spinach are we going to put in there?
I'll put the whole bag in.
This is just like a pot full of goodness.
Absolutely. This should cook down in just a second.
So probably, how long do you think? 30 seconds?
Oh, maybe.
I'm one of
a
those
little
cooks
bit
that needs
longer.
to know exactly how long.
Oh, I'd give it a minute. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn her off.
Okay.
And
Do you want me to bring it over?
yeah, let's put it on this napkin so we don't burn the cutting board. Can you get it? Mm-hmm. Now,
Here,
look at this.
I'll hold the bowl.
Like I said, it's almost like a stew.
That would be very simple to make a big pot of this and have it around all weekend long, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. Look
Good
at that.
idea.
Look at that.
Beautiful idea.
It's absolutely beautiful. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to take one bite.
Yes.
Oh, that's spinach.
You say that in a good way, right?
Oh, yes.
This is Popeye soup. Good stuff?
Oh, you got the crunch of the carrots, the yummy, strong flavor. It's so fresh of the spinach. You got the chewy lentils and the chewy rice. And the flavors, you did a good job with the vegetable stock.
Thank you very much.
Right on, sister.
All right, I'm going to go grab a spoon and have some of this myself, okay?
All right, thanks. Our next soup is everybody's favorite. It's chicken noodle. Now, we're doing this quick like we did the other two soups. You can see to make something good and hearty doesn't have to take all day. You get the kids helping and it doesn't take any time at all. And then they'll eat it. All right, chicken noodle soup. First, you have to have chicken. Duh. Now, what I'm gonna do, I've got some chicken breasts here. I'm gonna do what I call poach them, and it'll keep them nice and moist. I'm gonna take my chicken broth. See again, I got the chicken broth in the carton. Now this is 4 cups. You might want 6 cups. Actually, 6 cups would be perfect. I thought I picked up the 6-cup one, but I didn't. So we'll make do with 4 cups. All right, I've got my chicken broth in there. Now I'm gonna flavor it. I'm going to put a little bit of this chopped garlic. Now, I could use fresh garlic, but I'm using some of this because so many people have asked me to use this, that yes, it's okay. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of onion, and I'm going to cut it some, and all I'm going to do is rough chop it like this and put it in my broth. Now, basically what I'm making is an herbal, flavorful, yummy stock. Now, I'm going to put some thyme in it that I picked out of the garden because I still have some, or you can buy some thyme at the grocery. Now, I'm going to take and put about a handful in it. And I know the stems are in it, but after we poach the chicken, we're going to strain the stock. And it'll have all this yummy flavor and no sticky stuff. All right, now, here's some oregano. I like oregano. Oregano's another good herb. I'm going to throw that in there. Then, I'm going to take some of my parsley, the stems, and put it in there. Now, I'm going to put it on the stove. When it comes up to a simmer, not a boil, don't boil, a simmer, I'm going to put my chicken in it, and I'm going to let it simmer. I've got my chicken in, and the next thing I'm going to do is add some black pepper. Again, it's one of my favorite things. Okay, I've got my poached chicken. I'm going to take it out of the poaching liquid, and remember, you don't let it boil. Now, see that steam? Yes, sirree. I'm going to let this rest for a while, too, before I cut it, so that all the good juices will stay inside. Now, I'm going to sit this to the side. And remember I told you I had all this stuff that I put in there that I'm going to strain out. So I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to strain it through a mesh strainer because I want to get all the stuff. So we're just going to pour this out slowly. and strain all the stuff out. Now, all the flavor is in this stock now. Okay? I've got my strained liquid, and oh, it smells so good because of all the fresh herbs that were in it. And then that chicken added some more fun flavor to it. I am so excited about my chicken stock. Now, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put it back on the stove, let it simmer, and I'm gonna cook my noodles. While I'm cooking my noodles, I'm gonna cut my chicken up. I am gonna add some carrots, and I'm gonna taste it and see if I need any more herbs. I think I'm gonna want, I know, some more parsley. And so I'm gonna take this parsley right now and get it ready, because I'm gonna add this at the very end. And I know I'm gonna want a little bit more thyme. Now, the thing is with thyme, you don't wanna get that real hard, sticky, woody stuff in it. See, you don't wanna get that in it. Okay, just a little bit of thyme. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these and roll them up. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Now, I'm gonna chop her. Oh, great. Yes, sirree. All right, now these are ready, and I'm gonna put these in at the very end of it. Now, put that over to the side. Now, I'm gonna get my noodles. Now, I don't wanna cook all these. One thing you have to remember about pasta, whether it's egg noodles or plain noodles, if they're made with wheat, they're gonna double in size. So what I usually do, I think, okay, if I add about a cup's worth, it's gonna end up being 2 cups. And that should be plenty. So I'm gonna estimate with my hands that are impeccably clean and put about a cup in my simmering water. I'm gonna take my chicken. Now, I'm not gonna need all this chicken for my soup tonight. So I'm gonna take my chicken, and first, just to make sure it's cooked all the way, I'm gonna cut it in half. Now, even if it wasn't cooked all the way, since I'm gonna cook it some more, that would be okay. But you see, it's cooked, and it's nice and moist. I'm gonna cut any yucky parts off. Now, this is my chicken tender. Now, I don't want it to be too big. So I'm just gonna cut it again in strips first, Julianne. And then I'm gonna come back and dice. Oh, that's a too big bite. Okay. And again, this chicken is gonna be very flavorful because I poached it in a flavorful liquid. And that's what's important. So I got my chicken cut up, and I'm gonna check my noodles. My noodles are cooking, but it'll be just a few more minutes before they're done. What I'm gonna do is go on and add some carrots to it. Carrots not only add nutrition, add flavor, they're just so colorful. And they're kind of like the noodles, you know? Now, my noodles are done. Now, I'm gonna add the already cooked chicken, and it's gonna warm up in there. And I'm gonna add my chopped parsley with a little bit more oregano and a little bit of thyme. I'm gonna put this back on the stove for a minute. I'm gonna get my stuff together, and we're gonna have ourselves some chicken noodle soup. Ah, wish this was smell-o-vision again. The smell of the chicken and the egg noodles and the fresh herbs. Yummy! So, here I go. I'm gonna take a ladle. Oh, look at that. Oh, give me a little bit more broth. Oh, look at that soup. If that's not gorgeous, even if I do say so myself, you know, I'm kind of a good cook. But this is one of my favorite soups, chicken noodle. And I don't know anybody in the world that doesn't like it. And look at that, it is so pretty. and the noodles and the chicken, and I'm gonna take a bite. Oh, yummy! Those carrots still have a little bit of crunch. The noodle is perfect. Just a little chewy, not real chewy. And it tastes like the soup. Oh, and the fresh herbs in it, it's the best. I have just shown you with Coach how to make 3 easy, quick, yummy, nutritional soups. There's no reason why you can't go out and make it yourself. I thank you and see you next time.
This has been a Metro TV production, a public service of Louisville Metro Government.